have shared research with the public that puts a spotlight on events leading up to this pandemic, and of course sharing what we believe to be evidence of a coordinated worldwide effort. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you'll see links to many high-level security meetings involving defence ministers, politicians and government organisations and others such as World Health Organization and NATO, involving hundreds of countries. This is all just months before, including China, during the Wuhan Games, Germany, London, all with the same MO, creating UN-themed stiffer security worldwide and rolling out the SMART agenda. World Health Organization is also doing simulated plans as well at the same time. Other red flags include a mock-up of the very same event just weeks prior, which involves all the same agencies and people who are actually involved now. There's also a detailed and time-consuming post-virus document with hundreds and hundreds of connected documents that would have taken a long time to establish, which was presented by the World Economic Forum. I think when there's clear evidence that pre-planning has had to have occurred, it sheds light on the whole pandemic being a spontaneous event. So I'd like to share more evidence that may point to foreknowledge and forward planning for this event to be fully utilised. So first of all, in the USA, they've got Medicaid. Now, on October the 30th, 2019, which just like 8 weeks before we were told about all this, a new act was created called the Connect Act. Now, it stands for Creating Opportunities for Necessary and Effective Care Technologies. So it's known as the Connect for Health Act 2019. Now, in November, an amendment to this act was pushed by senators to include the provision of allowing Medicare to remove coverage restrictions during national emergencies so that telehealth could be used from the home. So allowing for a change in the social security laws to allow people at home to be connected to the health professionals via a screen. So a years old system of using telehealth only in certain areas and circumstances is miraculously changed just a few weeks before, and like I've stated now, really enabled telehealth to come to the forefront in the new smart home. Now, also in the UK, a corona bill was passed with no debate, over 360 odd pages long, and something that would have taken a very long time to create, which brings changes to our way of life. Now, changes that would never have been allowed without debate and a vote. And it just got passed through without so much as a murmur. So, yet once again, the convenience of this pandemic. Well, this has given police and doctors the ability to go into any place, take away anyone suspected of having this non-existent virus, and detain them. Combined with the Corona Health Bill, this also means they can claim anyone has died, and there's no need for any inquiries or a paper trail. They can just say you got taken into custody, you got tested for it, you're positive and you died within 2 weeks. They don't need any verifications, paperwork or anything. It's as simple as that. This means the state has sanctioned tyranny in the form of safety measures. So I'd urge people to read the whole bill to see how it's going to affect you. We've also got unprecedented cases of health organisations, who are all linked to Big Pharma, by the way, and UN and the globalists, changing the way that statistics are presented for deaths by using different codes so that the dividing line between the cause of a death and the real death are completely blurred. And I know many doctors have spoken out about that. So many people are living in fear over this pandemic. Now, instead of fear, we need to feel self-empowerment. They're taking advantage of the fact that people aren't clear-minded and calm enough to find information out for themselves. That's why I think information sharing is essential at this time. There are thousands of companies who are showcasing all their smart technology during this time. And not to mention the rollout of 5G apparatus, which is what they're doing while everybody's locked down. So we can see, that this is a perfect time for them to roll out this smart agenda that's been in the making for years. If this was real, we could see the flaws in the social distancing guide straight away. Now, shoppers are being made to stand, well, I know in my area, shoppers being made to stand 6 feet apart in a shop, only to stand a foot away from the shop assistant when they go to pay. Now, it took someone 2 weeks to work out that that was a mistake and put a glass partition up. But the point is, all the people queued up, we were all next to the shop assistant. If this was real, that would never have happened. I think the most obvious to me is the fact that the police who deal with the public every day have no social distancing or masks in place. That would also not be allowed if this was all real. And then lastly, we've got World Health Organization dictating that the police should now come into our homes and take people away. We know we're at the crossroads of a depopulation agenda, which should be brought out under the cover of vaccinations. This is why every agency or government institute who's involved, like Imperial College, or the big pharma companies who are actually running the World Health Organization, are all linked to vaccine manufacturing. There's also many countries which have started new vaccination facilities, and they've had plans for them ready to commence production in many countries of vaccines round about this time, including those who are dictating the circumstances and the plans for this so-called pandemic, specifically universities of Oxford and Imperial College, who are, especially Imperial College behind this, are actually got a vaccination facility already created. So we haven't just got this vaccine manufacturing that's been created by governments. We've also got many companies also involved in creating the vaccine, as well as the test kits, by the way, which are reportedly have been already contaminated. So we can imagine what's going to be in the vaccine, can't we, if the test kits are contaminated. Now, people like myself have got nothing to gain from showing my research. In fact, they're even trying to censor people who speak out. But we've all got a lot to lose if this agenda goes through, which is basically our freedom. So I'd like you to look at the Corona bill, which is hundreds of pages, but to go through that and see the changes that they've made. I'd also like you to listen to this World Health Organization advising us that they're going to come into our homes.
And at the moment, in most parts of the world, due to lockdown, most of the transmission that's actually happening in many countries now is happening in the household, at family level. In some senses, transmission has been taken off the streets and pushed back into family units. Now we need to go and look in families to find those people who may be sick and remove them and isolate them in a safe and dignified manner.
I think we can safely say that all the planning that they've done ahead of this in documents have shown us that these changes to laws and bills and everything, and these companies that are introducing all their products and services for the smart agenda, this has been years in the making. This is not something just happened, are they trying to tell us